Hi guys! So today I'm going to do another drunk review. This one called for not wine. So we're going with not wine. This is for an entire series. This is going to be the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I read all of them on my e-reader. The Deal, first one I will be talking to you about, I read on Kindle. The other three I read on iBooks. So if you haven't read any of the series, I'm going to be spoiling all of the books for you because this is more of a discussion video than anything. So, let's get that first shot in here. I decided to use my I Heart Zombies shot glass just because why not? I was going to use my Pittsburgh one because I'm in Pittsburgh, but it's dirty, so I was like, eh. And I'm wearing a hockey jersey because these are hockey players. And this, you can't actually tell if my shot glass is full. It's up to here, so it is. This is kinky. I really like it, but it's vodka distilled 5 times mixed with tropical and wild berry flavors. It reminds me of like the blue pixie stick. It's really good. I like it a lot. And it works because the deal is in blue. Alright, so let's think if I can remember the deal, which I read like 4 days ago. So in the deal we follow Garrett Graham and Hannah. I can't remember Hannah's last name. Hannah has a crush on a football player and Garrett wants Hannah to tutor him because she's one of the few people in their class who passed this thing. And this has a total, like, it's a hate to love, kind of. Because she's just so annoyed by him and he's just like, come on, come on, come on. And then they finally make a deal, the deal. And we see them, you know, kind of fall for each other. Be friends first, obviously. And, you know, fall. And it's just so cute. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the slow burn. I mean, it was kind of quick, but at the same time it was like slow burn. And then this time it was more her fault that like the issue happened because she wouldn't admit that she liked him. Like, dude, just admit it. Deal with it. No, I'm wrong. The fight was his issue because, well, it started out as her issue and then I was reading it and I feel like, okay, so I heard about this from Jess at Peace Love Books, and because she likes sport romances and I'm a big hockey fan, so I was like, oh my god, I need to read this because college hockey boys, like, and this cover, like, come on. But she goes away, or she says she wants to see other people because of his dad. Yeah, his dad threatens her by threatening to cut off Garrett. So she's like, we need to date I want to date other people. And he's like, bullshit. And then he keeps asking her how many people she's dated. And then she tries to go out with somebody. And then she realizes that he basically put out word, like, if you go out with this girl, I'll kill you. And when I realized what was happening, I squealed. I was like, oh my god, did he seriously do that? Like, no. And then she found out and I was just like, oh my god. Because I don't know if Jess said that or if she left that out when she was talking about the series, and I feel like that's something that if you haven't read the series, or if you haven't read the book, it's kind of a spoiler almost. Because it's just, the reveal was just so good. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god, like, for real, it was great. I like the way their relationship felt. It was healthy. She was raped, and that's a thing that they talk about in here. And as a person who has never gone through that, I don't know the best ways people go about handling it. But I like the way that she handled it in this book. It wasn't ignored, and it didn't control her. They discussed, you know, it happened. Her parents stood by her. It wasn't an ideal situation because nobody else believed her. And his friends were just shitheads. So it wasn't like the best outcome overall, but it was still like her parents believed her and they did everything they could to help her. and she had therapy and she dealt with it and she figured herself out. And I really like that Elle Kennedy had that, like, that yes, this traumatic thing happened, but it doesn't control her. She took care of it, she dealt with it, and now she'll never be, like, you know, that will always be something that happened to her, but it will not be something that controls her. And I really like that. I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars because, I mean, it's not amazing by any standards. It's not amazing. I mean, it's no deep messages or anything, but it was very enjoyable. I enjoyed it enough that I literally bought the next book like the minute I finished. I finished this book and was like, oh shit, I can't buy this on Kindle because I don't have that Amazon account anymore. iBooks, and I bought it while I was sitting in my car waiting to go to work. Book number 2, shot number 2. Because I guess this is the way that I'm gonna do it. Just a little bit more in this one. Bottoms up. Alright, so in this one we follow Garrett Graham's roommate, Logan. Most of the boys go by their last name, except for Dean. But we follow Logan. Logan is Graham's best friend. And Logan is having an issue where he is crushing on Hannah. And he tries to go to a party one night and he ends up at the room of this girl, Grace, who knows who he is. He doesn't know who she is. She's a freshman. I think he's a junior at this point. They hang out. He ends up at the wrong dorm. He's having a bad day. They end up hanging out, watching a movie, and then they kind of hook up hand-wise, and it just rolls from there. And it was funny. And it was annoying because it was like, Logan, get your shit together. Like, handle yourself, man. And Grace was kind of cute. Like, she didn't really, like, she wasn't into the whole, like, ooh, he's a big hockey star. Like, she was just kind of okay about it. Her friend really sucks. Like, her friend kind of sucks hardcore. Because she's just like, I don't believe you. But she doesn't straight out say it. She's like, and then, I don't believe you to her friends. They hook up a couple of times. There's a tweet thing about how Grace is a liar. I remember more about this book. I don't remember as much about the first book, and it makes me kind of sad. But the issue in this book, what does it even come from? I don't even know where it comes from. Oh, she's about to give him her virginity because the minute he walks in the door, she is on that. Like, and she's about to give him her virginity, and that's when he snaps out of it. He's like, oh my god, no, we can't do this, because I think I'm in love with my best friend's girl, and completely fucks it out of the water there. And then he finally talks to Hannah about this, and she's like, no. Calm yourself, dude. No. You are just jealous because you want what we have. You don't want me. You want what we have. And he's just like, shit, man. I'm like, dude. Think about it, like, are you really that much of an idiot? But it wouldn't have added to the story. There wouldn't have been that plot line, and it just would have been eh. Grace and Logan are cute. They're not as cute as Hannah and Garrett, and their relationship just kind of at the beginning felt contrived. Like, it had to happen that way. Like, it was just the way it happened. I was like, really? Like, okay. If you want me to believe this, I will, but I don't. So, what is up with these boys taking vows of celibacy? Like, that was just entertaining, because literally, like, an entire summer goes by without even any, like, contact, and he still hasn't, he almost had sex once. Because he still wants her that bad. I liked how Grace's parents were super, like, a part of this story. Like, the boys' parents are mentioned, the girls' parents are mentioned, but, like, and I appreciate that, how Elle Kennedy includes the parent in all of these books. It's kind of nice. None of the parents were, like, super involved, but, like, I like the things that Grace's parents did. Like, when Logan breaks down, Grace's dad holds him. Like, And it's just like, oh my god. Ugh. I liked that their issue was the whole being in love with his best friend's girl. And that was the extent of it, really. And they were just kind of happy. Like, I like that in each of the books we get, like, a little bit of happy. Like, we get a little bit of the into the relationship. Not a lot. We tend to get more as the books progress. But the second book picks up shortly after the first book. And the third book picks up shortly after the second book. So, let's get into that one. Let's take a shot to the score. I think shots might be a safer way to do this. I say as I proceed to spill vodka on my face. So, the score follows Dean and Allie. Allie is Hannah's best friend and roommate. Allie has just broken up with her boyfriend Sean for like the 4th time in 3 years. And Dean is a major player. Allie breaks up with Sean, and Sean won't really let it go as easily. He's apologizing and calling and texting, and she's worried that he's going to show up, and she doesn't know if she can handle that. So she texts Hannah and is like, Hannah, I need you. But Hannah is going out of town, and so is Grace. The two of them and their boys are going out of town for some reason. I can't remember. But they're like, hey, you can stay at the house. You can stay in Garrett's room. It's all good. The boys won't bother you, kind of thing. So she goes over there, and she interrupts Dean in the middle of a threesome. She interrupts the threesome. That ends. And then they start to watch a movie, and she straight up is like, I need you to hold my phone for the weekend, like, so I don't text my ex-boyfriend. Like, she explains what's going on. He convinces her to smoke some weed, and then he convinces her to do some tequila, and one thing leads to another, and they end up fucking in the living room, and they end up fucking in his bedroom. There's a lot of scratching involved, because he has some nice marks on him in the morning, and he got tied up at one point. So that happens. And again, with the boys taking like a vow of celibacy, he's obsessed with that girl. So he wants to hook up again. And it was so good that like he can't not do that again. And he keeps trying, and he's texting her. And there's a moment where they're all at Malone's, the bar off campus that a lot of the hockey players go to. Where he's texting her like extremely inappropriate things. And he decides at one point to take over the jukebox and play a song, and he plays I Want You to Want Me. And she decides to play a song, and she goes with You in Your Hand by Pink. And it was a funny moment. It was cute. I remember reading some of it out loud to my boyfriend because I was just like, oh my god. The first book wasn't as laugh out loud funny as the second. Like, the second and the third were really funny. There were multiple moments where I audibly laughed. Like, I couldn't control it at all. So that goes on and on and on. And then there's this, they decide to hook up. And they're casually hooking up with each other, and they kind of discuss the not hooking up with other people thing. And she gets a text from somebody that some girl is like all over Dean and gets insanely jealous. So she shows up at the bar in like this tiny dress and heels and just looks fucking phenomenal, and gives him a hard time, and they totally do it in the alley. And I like the way that their relationship happened. It started as fuck buddies, which is what I think they called it at one point. Like, it started as screwing around, and then they started being a thing, and they were kind of secretive about it. And it was just, it was fun. So yeah, it was a fun book to read. I really enjoyed the score with Dean and Allie, and they stay. They do the thing, and it's cute. Shot number 4. This might be the last one. I'm not sure yet. This one's like full. Alright, so the first time we see real overlap in the books is between 3 and 4, because 4 starts in where, like, 3, inside of, like, where 3 is happening. There's a specific moment, and it's, a bar trip. They're at Malone's, and Hunter is one of the freshmen, and he's like, ooh, who's that chick? And Dean is like, she's the devil. And then Tucker hooks up with her. So, we follow Tucker and Sabrina as they do their thing. And you kind of know where this one's going if you read book 3, because in book 3, towards the end, Tucker is like, I have a girlfriend and she's pregnant, to his friends. So that's a thing. So you know where this book is going when we start following Tucker and Sabrina. It's frustrating because Sabrina is one of those women who has a hard time admitting things, and she has a hard time letting go of her past and a hard time, you know, like admitting that yes, things are good. Things are really good. She doesn't like getting hooked up on people, and she just has a hard time. And Tucker is one of those, he loves fast and he loves hard. So the two of them hook up in his truck, and they can't stop thinking about each other. They're just like, oh, I need that again. Just like pretty much every other book in this series. They're like, oh, I had sex once, or I did a thing once, I need it again. My camera decided to die again. So I took an extra sip because it's been like half an hour since I stopped. We kind of know what's going to happen from the end of the last book. So you know where this story is going, but I kind of liked watching them get there. And this one made me smile a lot more than any of the other ones, because this one, Tucker reminded me of my boyfriend a lot, because Tucker is one of those guys who's just so understanding. He's like, babe, what do you need? Like, if you need something, I'm here for you. Like, it's us. We're doing this together. I'm here for you. I'm going to do, if you need something, I will do it. Like, what do you need? And he's just so understanding and caring and patient with her. And he's just so sweet, and like, it's just so nice to read a story where it's like, I see my relationship. Not really my relationship, but like, I see my boyfriend in this book, because Tucker was just so understanding throughout the entire thing, because Sabrina has such a hard time with all of it. And it was just so great. So they get pregnant. And yeah, that's a hard time for both of them, because she's not really talking to him, and you know, he doesn't want to push her. He just wants to give her space, because you know, he wants her to make the decision herself, but he knows that, you know, whatever she's gonna do, she's gonna tell him. And they decide to she decides she wants to keep the baby, but she doesn't want to force the baby on him. And she's very concerned about, you know, what he's going to do. She doesn't want to tie him down. And she feels bad about it enough. And then Tucker's mom comes into the picture and comes to visit. And I'm just like, bitch, calm yourself. There is no reason for you to be that rude. She's just, And that's kind of like the tense moment, is when after Sabrina and Tucker move in together, his mom comes to visit, and she's just like unreasonable, like just rude. And Sabrina's just like, no, this is my house. You're not gonna talk to me like that in my own home. Like, and then his mom does like a 180, and I was just like, no, okay, no. But I like the way that they worked everything out. They had their baby girl, and how they came up with their name. I thought was so cute. James Tucker. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the book a lot. I literally just finished it like 3 hours ago. In the end of each of the books, it gives like a little epilogue thing. And I really enjoyed those. Those were kind of cute, because we got to see, you know, what they were doing like a year later, 2 years later. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Overall, I really enjoyed the series. Like, I thought it was a lot of fun. There wasn't a lot of hockey stuff in there. I wish that there had been just a little bit more like hockey stuff. But there was a lot of sex in there, like so much sexing. I enjoyed the sexing. I enjoyed the little bit of sports talk we got. The friendships were fun. Like the boys and their friendships were just enjoyable. All of the boys, just their friendships were just nice, you know? Like the friendships in these books were relatable. We've all had that friend who you're friends with because of how long you've known them, not really because you really enjoy being with them all the time. But at a certain point it feels like it's more out of obligation. And we've all had those friendships where, you know, you're planning for your future together. You're like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this together. And those friends who support you through everything. And those friends who are like, I don't know about that. Like, there's so many different types of friendships. And I really enjoy the female friendships in this. Like, the girls don't completely forget about their friends. Like, they still hang out with their friends. And I really enjoyed that. Like, I really enjoyed the series overall. And I would definitely recommend it to anyone looking for a hockey romance book series. Alright, I think that's about it. Sorry, this was like really short on each book. I didn't have like a lot to say. But I really wanted to sit in front of a camera, drink, and wear a hockey jersey, because that sounds like fun, right? Alright, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can check out my next video. Have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye!